Hey guys, it's Crazy Horse here. So today we're going to be working on our INS bombing with a Gbu54. So you can see we have a target off to our right. We have our TAD set up, pushed out just a little, currently at 6 miles, and we're going to expand one on our TAD. So we're going to go ahead and come left here and just explain what we're doing. So the Gbu54, we're going to be in CCRP mode. And what we're going to do is we're going to get set up. I've already selected a target. Which is a BTR. We're just going to get trimmed out here. Make sure that we go out just a little ways. Now, so we're going to set up ourselves on a Bravo Echo Alpha. So going into our wheel here, going to be at about 8 miles. As always, we're going to make our proper calls when we go in. So the Gbu54 is a INS laser guided weapon. So we're going to do two things here. We're going to make sure that we have our speed set up. We're going to use the INS mode. We're going to make sure that our speed is as high as we can get it, because that's going to change our dynamic deployment range. We're also going to make sure that we zoom in, put this on point. I'm going to laze my target once we come around. And we're just at a cast wheel, and as you can see on the expand one screen. So once we get into our Bravo position here, we're going to go ahead and do a run-in. We'll watch for a what's called staple bracket up on the left, and you can see it right here already starting, and it's closed right now. And what we'll see is that it'll drop down and show us when we can drop. As long as the marker is in there, you're good to go ahead and start that drop. So let's go ahead and turn in a little bit here because we're at 11 miles. Again, just setting up properly is important. Our IP is going to be Bravo, so we'll make our IP inbound call when we start to turn in on final bearing. You see we're at about 15,000 feet. If you have precision guided weapons, altitude is going to be your friend. So we're approaching Bravo. And you can do a slight offset when you're doing these. That's perfectly fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do my call. Dragon 11 IP inbound. So that means that we're turning in on our initial point. There we go. Turning. So you can see the staple, and you can see that you have the little drop down there. And now we have this line forming. We want our vector display to be as center on that as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect because this is INS dropped, but it helps. There we go. Now you can see that we're at 6 miles. And you can see I'm actually able to drop this at 6 miles now because I'm at 268 feet. I'm going to get just a little closer, make sure we're at halfway since we're not doing a multi-drop, and Dragon 11 in. We'd be cleared hot. And weapon away. I always like to go to my DSMS and double check that. So we're going to go ahead and brake right. And set that to an autopilot. Let's go ahead and watch this bomb fall in. The faster you are when dropping an INS bomb, the longer range you're going to have. Altitude and speed make a big difference on this. But we also have to worry about fuel management. So if you're at about 250 knots, you should be pretty good for any type of deployment. So we can see the bomb has picked its INS target. Direct shack on target. And that's the basics of the Gbu54 INS.